Hello everybody. Today I'm here because, well, obviously going to make a video. Don't know the resolution or where this camera's pointing, but I guess I'll find out when I go to edit. It's that new head-worn cam. So, we got the scooter apart. Nothing wrong with it. Didn't burn it up, didn't kill it. But being at Askgo is China, there was no fuse holders in this thing. Not a one. No fuse holder on the charge line, and no fuse on the power line. So I went and bought a couple cheapy old fuse holders, some fuses to stick in them. Going by the rating on this, 15 amps plus or minus 2 amps, max current. So 17 max, should be alright, unless I like stall it out at full throttle with this little bitty controller until I get a better one. I want to get at least a 40 amp controller and put in here. But for now I'll use this Hong Kong Fui Chinese special right here. But definitely got to put a fuse holder in here, because for now I'm running the lithium ion battery. This is only a 15 amp hour, 48 volt. Pretty wimpy, but for now that's what I got till I get my lithium phosphate batteries, and those will be 35 amperes. I'm going to run 2 of those. It's going to be one 35, yeah, is going to go up here, and I'll put another one in there. And I don't know if I'm going to run parallel or switch between battery 1, battery 2 when I deplete one or the other. So it's, I don't know, pretty much get about the same distance and speed. If it's parallel, you ain't got to switch it. But if, it's, separate, you got to switch it on or off from one to the other, it's going to be about the same anyway. So you just got to end up switching it in the middle. Half a dozen of one, half a dozen of the other, don't matter. But we're going to take this. I don't need to put the fuse. I'm not going to put the fuse on here. I'll just leave that Chinese plug alone. So I'll probably just hack this, tap that into it, and we'll be golden. So let's get on with the show. I don't know where my strippers are, so kind of got to do this the old caveman way. Like that. Hopefully I don't pull that out of the controller when I do that. That would really suck now, wouldn't it? Pull this wire and it comes right out of the controller. I gotta tear the whole controller apart and replace the wire. But we didn't have that bad luck. Here we go. So I'll probably turn the camera off. What I'm going to do is combine these, something like this, clean it, and solder them. Put some heat shrink on there, and I'll have my fuse holder on there. So stand by, because I don't want to mess with the camera on and fumes from the soldering iron and everything be going up into it and shit. So I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Figuring I'm going to do a fuse test because I've only got 15 amperes. I don't have nothing bigger yet. So before I put it all together, I want to make sure that the surge isn't going to blow the fuse. So I'm going to power it up, put the throttle on full, and then spike it a couple times. Granted, it's not under a load, but should be fine if I can spike it and not pop the fuse. So I guess let's do this. Just want to make sure this don't hit nothing. I want to tape it up, so I'm going to have to take it back off, right? Be kind of stupid. Two, three. I think it'll be alright. I think she'll be good. Mainly the reason why I got the fuse in here, because even those upgraded controllers are Japanese junk, China junk. But a lot of these fires that you see from the scooters, the controller, FET goes out in the controller, goes short, and of course, what happens if you short your battery? Well, this is the only line of defense. This is going to be your fuse. There's a lot of scooters out there do not have fuses. Not wise. If you got a scooter, I don't care if it's a ride-on, you know, stand up, you know, take your battery compartment apart, see if you got a fuse in there. If you don't, you better put one in there, at least according to what your controller is. If you got a 20 amp controller, put a 20 amp fuse in it. 40 amp, put a 40 amp, you know what I mean? Like that. Then you'll be safe. This way you're not going to be going down the road and all of a sudden smoke starts rolling out of it and you're on fire. Because, you know, the battery is usually not at fault. The battery is what goes on fire, yeah. But this is what initiates the fire. The controller shorts one of the FETs. 100% dead short on that. She's got no fuse. What's going to happen? You cook the battery control module. That now goes short. Now you just start burning cells. And there you go. That's why you see those fires start like that. They'll start with just a little bit of smoke. Usually this smokes. Then it smokes the battery control management. Then you'll see the smoke all of a sudden, just at a click, get worse. Okay, that's now the cells heating up. The heat shrink around the cells and everything starting to burn, smoke. And then all of a sudden the cell pops apart, starts venting. That's when you see the jets of flames come out. And it all starts from when these die. This is the weakest link in any scooter setup. You know, you should always use a controller larger than anything you would ever draw. Why China does this crap, I do not know. You know, put these little wimpy controllers in, no fuse. That, I guarantee, isn't even a 15 amp controller. I bet you $100. You know, we know how China loves to rate their junk. But yeah, I'm telling you, I don't care who you are. You got a stand-up scooter, you know, a mobility scooter, or, you know, one of these. Open up your battery compartment and see if you got a fuse holder. You know what I mean? And if you do, just make sure it's not been hot or melting. And make sure that the fuse in it is at least what the fuse rating is at least what your controller is. Just because it says 15 amps on it does not mean that this is drawing 15 amps. It will draw a maximum of 15 amp. Anything over that, something's wrong. Then I want it to pop this fuse, not start the battery on fire. So there you go. So I'm going to put these together properly, clean up the setup here, and start stuffing this cheapy little ion pack in there. Can't wait until I order my phosphate batteries. A lot later than this. This thing's pretty damn heavy for what it is. So that'll work out real good. I just got to make sure that my measurements are going to be, good to go for this compartment. And as I said, I want to make sure, I want to put one in this. That's why I got this with the hard case. Put some padding in there. This way the battery is safe and protected. How they do this one is it wedges in there, lays on the metal floor, and then they pinch the wiring up on the ceiling up here. And this keeps the battery from rattling around. But, I still would not like the idea of taking this down a bumpy gravel road. It just, the vibration and shock probably isn't the safest thing to go through. You don't realize, a lot of you guys don't know the sensitivity of these ion batteries. You go to a phosphate battery, you don't have that issue. These, they're real picky on charging and the environment they're in and how much abuse they don't take. So, there you go. Let me shut my yap. Get this somewhat put together. I might want to trace some of these out. I already, when I had the camera off, because I'm going to put a new headlight on and tail light set up. That's what these two are, these two are. This is main power to headlight, and then they branch off it with tail light, and then the brake light's right there. So we got headlight, brake light. The tail light is tapped in up there, comes back down here. So I got tail light, and then higher voltage for brake, which makes it go brighter. But yeah, I'm sitting at right about 50, 51, 52 volts. But that's okay. The lights I got ordered will take up to 80 volts input, so that's golden there. But yeah, don't just expect to get a pair of any old China driving lights and stick on there, because some of them are 12 volt to 16 volt only. You go stuffing 50 volts into them, well, you're going to cook the light controller. And if it shorts, well, what runs this is also an FET. So if you put the wrong light on it, the controller in that shorts, presents a short to the FET that is running this stuff. That gets shorted. Guess what? Now you're going to put a short on that if that FET stays shorted. So catch 22, you still need a fuse. I know I'm rambling. Catch y'all later. See ya. Alrighty, I'm back. Let me adjust my glasses here. But, yeah, I think I said the controller in the headlight. No, it's a driver. It's an LED driver. It's a little solid state device that drives the LEDs. Keeps the amperage within the LED specs so they don't go. But, yeah, if that shorts out, that could cause a problem here. Well, we got this. We got all heat shrinked up. Then we put tape over it because this is all metal in here. I don't want no chance of it possibly wearing through, being that that is hot. And, well, right to the battery. Would not be a good idea to be shorting that sucker out. I'm not going to put a fuse on the charge line. I should, because it's just a feather weighs more than this thing. I doubt this has even got a fuse in it. I might take it apart. It's got security screws, I don't know why, but I'm just curious if they do have fuse in it. It's 54.6 volts, 2 amps. I don't know about charging that 2 amps. I won't do it in the house. I have yet needed to charge it. But, God, that's awful light. I think I got a bunch of wall warts which weigh more than that. I find it hard to believe that they would actually fuse it. I'll check it out. But if it's proper, and these things are real, not just China fakes that, make a sticker look good, well, it's not UL listed, so it still may not be legit. But your charge line is also something you want to fuse. But I'm not going to put another fuse holder on it. I got one right here. I just don't know. Suppose I could. They just don't give me enough wire here. I got to take the charge port out. Take the charge port all the way out. Because I can't work with the wires in here. There's not enough room. And that's a P&A to get that out of there. Because I fell in there and they got Loctite on the nut. Oh, there it is. I think I got over it. Let me see. Now can I get the nut over the plug? Because if I can't get that off there. There, we got that. Now can I get the port out? There we go. I guess I can put a fuse holder on it. I like this kind of a charger versus the other one. If you know what I'm talking about. The other one is actually like a PC power cord plug. And I look at that and I'm like, I wonder how many people have actually, because there's some people out there just ain't got no brain. I wonder how many people have actually plugged an AC computer cord into the wall and stuffed that into their charge port on their scooter. I'm sure it blew their battery management board all to hell. But, yeah, it's another thing that China should not be doing is using those three-prong computer cords as charge plugs. That's a disaster waiting to happen. You take one scatterbrained blonde to stick a computer cord in that thing and plug it in the wall. Yeah, you won't need to worry about charging it ever again. But, yeah, I'll snip this one down. I don't want all this extra wire on it. Good enough right there. Thing is, I've only got 15 amp fuses. I'd like to find a little fuse like what you would run in the ECU in your vehicle, you know, maybe a 1 or a 2 stick on this. I don't know. Be kind of stupid to put a 15 on it. It's kind of futile. I'll have to go through my fuses over here and see if I got anything that small. Suppose I could go a 3 amp would be too much. I don't think they make a 2. I know you can get 3s and you can get 1s. Because I got a couple 1s for the computer, the ECU in my truck. I got a couple 3s, I know that, but I don't think I'm going to have a 2. I don't think I've ever seen that style fuse. I don't even know where the hell they are. But these are the little mini blades. I don't think I've seen them in no 2 amper. They go 1, 3, 5, and you know, up like that. But I'll have to check out and see. Might as well just take this apart while I'm here and see if there is a fuse in this. Because if there is, as long as I use this, then my fuse line is at least protected, or my charge line. Then I won't need a fuse here. So I guess I gotta open this and see what Mr. Chinaman put in there. Catch me shortly. Yeah, I don't have the security bit for this, but maybe this slightly bent up regular will somewhat suffice. Got that one out. I don't mean they'll all come out. God, this thing's light. I'm telling you, a chicken feather weighs more than its charger. Yeah, I will not charge this in the house. Oh, this one's a different one. Sweet. They're like, oh, he's getting the screws, huh? We'll change that one up on him. Yeah, I got 3 out, and the last one is not going to stop me. I will figure it out. Wow. This one's got like a bump in the middle where the other ones didn't. I can get into it just on the edge. Oh, it's like boring plastic out of the center of it. What the hell? It's like a fake screw. Yeah, it's a fake screw. Freaking China people. Oh my God. China. Okay. The input is fused. Ah, the output is fused. Good. Huh. Actually, the power supply goes a little bit more above and beyond than I thought. This is actually adjustable output. Sweet. So at least I know I'm fused here. So that I got a little bit more peace of mind. But I'm telling you, don't say, well, duh. No. When it comes from China, you don't know if it's going to be fused or not. Trust me. I've been doing electronics for many years. I've ordered a lot of China junk. You wouldn't believe some of the crap that they send and try to convince you that it's 100% legit UL listed. You take it apart and it's like some of the stuff I've had that, you know, like the wall warts or USB adapters, you know, USB chargers, I won't even plug them in. I mean, they are so cheapo. I don't like fire and I ain't going to risk my house. You know what I mean? But this actually, I'm surprised on how well built that is. I really am. I'm impressed. Except for their fake Chinese screw. There is no screw there. I was wondering why when I was turning, I was like, plastic was coming up with a bit. And it's fake. In a way, I got to give them credit for that too. Technically, it's good credit. Because if somebody took this apart, they would do just what I did. Well, you take it apart, you got 4 screws. And they couldn't get the screw out. They most likely wouldn't have pulled it apart like I did. They would have tried to send it back in. Chinaman would have said, oh, we see you try to undo screw. Oh, we no warranty you. Oh, no. So, yeah. Good for them, but sucks for us. But that's okay. She's good. Catch me in a short. I'm going to stop the video. Stuff this back together. That really isn't showing low on power. I would like to top the charge off on it. But I don't want to charge an ion battery in my house. And while it's out, I might modify this battery compartment so I can actually open it, take the battery out, you know, manage these cables better. This way I can just take the battery out, charge it, slip it back in. Because the town I live in, you don't be putting this outside for a couple hours. Because you go back out there, that should be gone. It will be history. Somebody will be taking that on you. You know, so I would feel better off just taking the battery out, setting it out on the little table out there, and plug her in and let her do her thing. Plus, if she ignites out there, there ain't nothing that's going to burn up. It's all concrete. And plus, if it burns up, it ain't going to take the bike out when it burns up. So it's a win-win scenario. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll figure out how to make this a quick release, because right now it's these screws, and you keep unscrewing these, you're just going to strip out the holes. Damn, it's pretty hefty steel right there. So, alright, I'm going to actually turn the camera off. That's probably the end of the video. Just imagine it's all back together and it's all happy, hunky-dory. So there you go, people. Recap. Take your scooter apart. Make sure there's a fuse on it. At least of the same rating your controller is. You can get these fuse holders, like, I think I got like 5 of these for like $3 or $5, something like that. They're like $1 a piece with the fuses. So there you go. As I said, the fuse holder that you put, the fuse you put on should always be the same spec as your controller. This way, if something happens, you're not going to have it short on the battery. I don't know what to tell you guys about your chargers, because I'm not going to use this charger on a lithium phosphate. You know, I'll use the phosphate charger on that battery. But I'm sure Chinaman puts out these chargers. I'm sure they got some cheapos that ain't got a fuse in them. So that's up to you. I'm not telling you to take your charger apart and look for fuses. I'm just saying I did because I know what I'm doing. So, because I don't think you're ever going to see a fuse put on the charge line. But if you do take your charger apart and there's no fuse, you can put a fuse on your charge line. Just saying. So everybody, take care. Till the next video. Peace.